One part of our body that doesn't always get all the love that it deserves are our shoulders and our upper arms right here. They carry so much for us, all of our burdens and our weights. We often talk of it as being carried on our shoulders. Access more that energy that is associated with our shoulders and this whole physical area here, some of our heart energy, and also our throat chakra energy. Welcome to the mat. Let's get started. We're going to start on our backs. So everybody come down to your mat on your backs. We're going to start by slowly lifting up our belly into an arch. We're feeling as if a string is pulling our belly button up into the ceiling. And we're just going to very slowly lift up this whole arch of our belly here until we kind of feel, a nice contraction, nothing biting or pinching, but we feel kind of this edge here, this climactic contraction here. Hold it for just a second, and then very slowly for a count of 7, we're going to release it back down to the ground. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Take a breath here and completely let any tension from your low back release. So completely release any muscles from working. Just let everything go in your back. From here, we're going to slowly reverse that motion. So it's feeling as if we're making an arch with our back, but it's going into the ground. So we're switching from a concave shape to a convex shape. Slowly get to where that feels comfortable, kind of to that end point. And then we're going to count to 7 and release to neutral. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Completely release here. And once again, we're going to arch up to the ceiling. Slowly up to where we're feeling that kind of that edge of tightness, contraction, and release for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Completely release any muscular movement here. And reverse one time. We're going back towards the ground. While you're doing this, lift slowly your head up with your hands. You're not pulling at your neck. You're just supporting your weight of your head. Finding that edge and then release slowly for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Release completely that tension. Excellent. And let's meet back up at sitting now. So however you get there, we're going to take a few deep breaths here. So again, your fingertips can come to touching right at the bottom of your rib cage. And we'll take a few deep breaths in. As you fill your breath, imagine it's starting at the bottom of your rib cage and it's expanding your ribs out sideways. You'll find as you do this, your fingertips separate from each other and slowly exhale, control that exhale, and they will come back together. Once more. And for that last motion, make sure your chest is kind of coming up and out and slow exhale. Excellent. Very good. Back down onto our backs. You're going to feel as if your low back is glued onto that ground. Lifting up your knees, you can keep them at this 90-degree angle, or to find your comfortable challenge today, you can bring them in closer to ease up the challenge, or play around with straightening your knees and or lowering your hips. Finding that comfortable challenge where we're working, but we're still able to find that smile. Your palms face the ceiling, and we're going to start counting here. We're just going to count to 50 here. And we really can take this time to start taking some deep breaths. Taking some nice deep breaths, bringing your attention back behind your eyes. Thinking about your shoulder area and the energy of moving out in the world and expressing your true self. confidence to be your authentic, true self, who you really are. Think of times that you really felt you embodied that. Times when you felt you were able to be fully seen. And bring that energy into your body. And notice where it enters. Does it come in through your heart or the top of your head? 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Very good. And let's lift ourselves up back to sitting. For our lymphatic points, we're going to start with our K27 points. So you have your U notch at the top of your sternum, goes slightly diagonal, and right in that indent right there. Really dig in as much as you feel comfortable, as much as you can. And take this opportunity to take a few breaths. Notice if you feel any sensation changes in your body. Breathing into if there's any pain or discomfort here. Deep circles. And then we're going to head right into the bottom of kind of where this bulbous part of your humerus bone, right at the edge of that, the bottom of that head, right where the neck begins, right in this anterior surface, the front of your arm. You're going to find a spot right in front there. And again, give this a nice deep circle here. You can go one way and then reverse. And breathe. Notice if you feel any sensation changes throughout your body. And then we'll reverse to the next side, the other side. From here, we're going to go, so our sternum is from the top of our neck down to where your sternum ends. And right along the middle of that, you're going to find on either side, in between those ribs that are right in the middle. Ooh, one side of mine is really painful today. And then we're going to find just that spot right next to the sternum, in between those ribs, in that middle. And breathing deeply. Notice if you feel anything else in other parts of your body from this. Ooh, that's a spot I'm going to have to come back to. All right, let's move. Oh yeah, right here. So this is a new one for today. So it's kind of at the bottom part of where your armpit kind of starts, I guess. So you're moving across about halfway into your rib cage. And you should find a couple of spots right here. They're going to be in between those ribs. Right there. Give some nice deep massage. Again, noticing if you feel any sensation changes anywhere else in your body, any excess heat that wasn't there before, any tingling, maybe a sense of movement. And lastly, we'll go to the axillary area. So it's where your shoulder would be sewed onto your torso if you were a teddy bear. And we'll go up and down each shoulder here. So these spots are closely associated with the shoulder girdle and the upper back. And I find it curious because I have been having some neck tightness lately. And these spots are more congested than I typically feel. So that is interesting to me. I need to work on these. It will help with my congestion or my tightness of my neck. Breathing deeply into here. Good. So now we're going to be moving up to our clavicle area. We're going to start on one side above and below your collarbone. Just lightly kind of flick your hand across the skin or across your clothes if that's what's available to you. Skin is a little more effective, but it will work on top of your clothes as well. And we're just kind of giving a little warmth to this area. Most of the lymphatic tissue, it starts its flow right superficially under the skin. So now kind of give them some firm but gentle taps. We're just trying again, just to kind of loosen up the tissue, encourage some movement. Good. And then some circles or figure eights, reverse the circles. Again, we're just helping that fluid flow. We're moving to the next side now. Same thing with the collarbone. Just lightly flick the skin, give it some warmth. Get it thinking about moving. It's really incredible how powerful this exercise can be. Now we'll do our firm, gentle taps. Doesn't seem like we're really doing anything, but in combination, actually really even by itself, it's a very powerful practice. Go ahead and now start your circles. The small things combined together really add up. And this is a perfect example of that. From here, we're going to move underneath our jaw. So underneath our jaw, kind of like up behind your mandible, going all the way across is where some of your biggest lymph nodes are in your neck, superficially. So we're just going to go under our jaw, do that same thing. Just kind of flick your skin a little bit underneath your jaw, on top of your mandible right here, your lower jaw. All the way around, behind your ear, and then go ahead and do your taps. Breathing here, telling yourself, this is my body. I'm doing great things for my body, and my body does great things for me. And now go ahead and do your circles. Good. Let's switch to the other side. Again, underneath that jaw and on top of that jaw. Flicking that skin. And now some gentle taps. I think of this work as like snow melt on a mountain. And it's just like little trickles of a stream at the top of the mountain. But as I'm going to do your circles now. But as it flows down and the waters combine as they get closer to the valley, it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's what we're affecting right now. We're starting at the top of the mountain, but we're helping this flow get stronger and stronger as it gets throughout the whole body. Good. For our last ones today, we're going to go right behind our knees. So both at the same time, again, just like that light flick of the skin. If you can do it on the skin, great. If not, through your clothes is fine. I'm going to do some tapping here. Take a deep breath. Notice your sensations in your head and your torso. How do they feel compared to when you started today? And now your firm and gentle circles, figure eights, right behind your knees. Good. All right, from here, we're going to stand up and let's do a little bit of rebounding just in our toes. So we're just bouncing up and down on our toes. You can let your arms flap a little bit. We're just really getting that fluid moving through our body. Our calf muscles are the biggest passive pump of this whole lymphatic system. So now we've cleared some roadblocks. We've opened up some pathways, these river creeks. And now we're going to get it moving so that things don't just kind of collapse back in on themselves. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. From here, let's take a little bit of gentle movement to get started. I want to kind of feel with our own bodies and play with our body today. Maybe close your eyes if you're comfortable. Start from the top of your head and just do a quick scan down. Is there anything that feels like it needs to move? Great place to start is with your arms over your head. You're welcome to follow me, but you also can just start with any gentle movement that feels right to you today, especially focusing on your spine and your torso, your hips. A bit of twisting is great. You can lean over to one side, really getting that curve in your spine. Paying a special attention to your shoulders. What are they asking for today? And maybe they're not asking for anything, but a little bit of playful movement can always be fun. Maybe some shoulder circles, some nice slow shoulder circles. Let's see. Lifting our legs up. I'm kind of moving down to my lower body now. Maybe giving a little stretch to the quads. I'm gonna widen out my legs, do a little hip opening here too, hip bend. Feeling the lower legs open up on the back. What joints can you move and play around with? Good. All right, let's wait back at standing again. Let's give a little march. Again, we're just keeping things moving, keeping things flowing, getting ourselves back into our bodies. And when you're ready, let's lift our arms up to the sky. And we're just going to kind of melt down to the ground, down to sitting, actually down to our knees. And we'll start on all fours. We're going to give a slight twist to our spine, looking up to the sky. And taking our right hand, or whichever hand is up, mine is the right, and we're going to fly it underneath our torso. And it lays on the ground. That arm lays on the ground. You can lift your head, look up to the sky, or keep it looking out to the side. Take a few deep breaths here. Listen to any sensations that you're feeling in your shoulders and your arms. I'm feeling it in my back as well, that nice twist. Just being an observer here, just curious about what your body's going to go through today. If this position isn't good for you, you can also do it on your stomach, if that's better. You could also lay on your back if that's better and just hold your arm over in front. Or you can be on your stomach with your hand underneath. Whatever feels comfortable today for you, wherever you're at. Focus on loosening anything that's tight. If you notice anything starting to tighten up, send some relaxation to those muscles. And on your next inhale, we're going to lift that arm that's underneath you back up to the sky. And it comes down to the ground. You can, if you're on your stomach, you can stay there. And if not, release back to resting on your bent legs. Your arms out in front of you. Take a moment to feel the sensations in your right versus your left shoulders. Notice if they feel different. What qualities of them feel different to you? Keeping our consciousness very aware of the sensations of our body to help our nervous system in very many different ways. On your next inhale, we're going to lift back up or stay on the ground if you're there. Your other arm gets lifted up to the sky. And then on exhale, it travels underneath you. And you can relax and lean into this, keeping your neck nice and long. Breathing deeply. Really try to move that awareness from behind your eyes into your shoulders. Imagine what it would look like if you were there. Breathing deeply here. Really letting your body know that you can release the tension, that you are okay. There's no need to hold on to anything here. In a couple of breaths, we're going to think about what it will look like here. But in a couple of breaths, we're going to again either stay where we're at, release the twist of the arm if you're on your stomach. If you're up in the air on your knees, you're going to move your seat down to your heels. And again, we'll have our arms out in front of us. So on your next inhale, go ahead and make that look what it looks like for you. Really staying with your sensations the whole time. Feeling the release of your shoulders in this position with your arms in front of you. Notice now how your shoulders are feeling, if there's much difference between them or if they're feeling more of the same. How has it changed? Are there other areas of your body that open up to you that weren't there before or that you didn't notice before? And we're going to see in our mind's eye in just a moment, we'll be rocking forward. We'll be moving our right foot just to the right of our right hand. So our left hand will be next to our right hand, and our right hand will be next to our right foot. We'll be sending that left foot out long behind us, up on our toes. So go through that movement, that process in your mind of getting to this spot. And on your next exhale, let's go ahead and do it. We rock forward onto our hands. Our right foot comes to the right of our right hand. Our left foot comes out beside us. We can stay up on our hands, or you can come down to your forearms. You can use your blocks or a rolled up blanket to support your arms here if it's needed. And really breathe into that left hip especially. Send any breath down to that hip to help open it as it begins the process of lengthening right now. On your next inhale, bringing attention to your shoulders. How are they feeling in your neck? Make sure your neck stays long, not tight. Really staying with the sensation of your body. Our next movement will be coming up onto our hands if we're not already there. We're going to be rocking a little bit forward so that our left leg is going to be coming up we're going to be flying our leg up. And we'll be straightening our right knee so that we're standing strong and tall on our right foot and our left one is up to the sky. So think about how that's going to feel. Imagine that in your body. And on your next inhale, let's do that together. Coming up on our hands, kind of rocking our back left leg a little bit, straightening that right knee. Our left leg is raised to the sky. Kind of pump that left foot a little bit back and forth, back and forth. Keeping a little micro bend in your right knee. We're not locking out backwards. We're going to keep it nice and in a safe spot. Sending that sensation to your shoulders. What are you feeling there? In your mind's eye, see how on our next breath, we'll be moving our flying leg to the outside of that left foot. We're going to be rocking onto that left foot. So on your next exhale, let's do that together. You can bend your right knee as needed. We're bringing our left leg down behind us, rotating it. We're coming on the outside of that left foot. We're going to be keeping our left arm on the ground, and we're moving our right leg to meet our left. You can also keep your hips on the ground here. Find your comfortable challenge. Really feel that sensation, especially in the shoulders, the difference between the grounded shoulder and the flying shoulder. Keeping that comfortable challenge and that smile. On our next exhale, we're going to slowly, with control, move down, looking at the ground here. You can be on your knees or your stomach as well, whatever your comfortable challenge is. Let's take a little rock here. Little rock back and forth. It's excellent for our nervous system. Help us get engaged. And on your next backwards exhale, your knees come to the ground, your toes stay up. You're releasing your chest to the ground, and your hands are coming just to the either side of your chest. Your head can be to the side or looking out in front of you. And take a moment here to really feel your chest on the ground, the support that you're getting from the earth for your heart energy space. What does that mean for you in your life to know that that compassion, that heart space, that love, that going out into the world, and it can be fully supported by the earth and the infinite power. If you are on one cheek, go ahead and reverse to the other cheek. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Notice how the sensations inside them are changing as you go through your practice. And now imagine that we'll be bringing our foot flat to the ground, and we're going to be bringing our hands straight out in front of us, kind of like a child's pose, but with our hips up towards the air. So on your next inhale, go ahead and find that position, sending your arms out in front of you. The top of your feet come to the ground. Your hips can stay up, or you can lean back onto them. You can just find a regular child's pose here, whatever is comfortable for you today. Kind of lean backwards here to really get a stretch of those shoulders, a passive stretch. Pulling with your body weight, really opening up those shoulders. From here, let's rock forward a little bit. We're going to be on our forearms. On our forearms, our knees extend. We're on our toes now. Stay here for just a moment. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be walking ourselves a little bit forward, putting more weight through our shoulders and our elbows. This is going to be really strengthening those shoulders. We want to make sure that your neck stays long and relaxed. You don't want your shoulders to come up right by your neck, increasing that tension. So from this position here, give yourself a little movement to prepare us for this. And on your next inhale, let's start walking a little bit forward. This can be a very tricky pose. So really breathe into that strengthening of those arms, using that energy from the earth, just calling it right up to you, sending it right to that shoulder girdle, feeling it billowing up to you, giving you more strength than you thought you might have. And on your next exhale, go ahead and release your knees and back down to the ground, strengthening out that lengthening out that shoulder girdle. And now lift your hips up to the sky. Your feet are on the ground. You can raise up onto your wrists. And we're going to have a little movement here. Just do what's feeling good for you. Good. We're going to lift our left leg up to the sky. And it comes just to the left of our left hand. You can stay up on your hands or come down on your forearms. Now we're really feeling this opening in our right hip. We'll take a few moments here, breathing deeply. Feeling tension in that front hip, send that breath right into that right hip. That right hip space, imagine with your inhale, it's increasing this balloon. Blowing up this balloon to give you more space in that front pelvic area. You can also come down to your knee if that's your comfortable challenge today. Adjust as needed, whatever feels right. Imagine in your mind's eye, coming up soon, we'll be straightening that left leg, coming up onto our hands, rocking a little bit forward and sending our right leg up into the air. We'll spend a moment with that visual in our mind. What will it look like? What will it feel like? And on your next inhale, hands come to the ground. Rock yourself a little bit forward. That left leg straightens and your right leg is up in the air. Go ahead and release that flying leg just slightly and then bring it back up. Keeping a micro bend in that grounded knee. And just release it a little bit back and forth. And fully aware of that movement. On your next exhale, we'll be coming down to the outside of that flying foot, so our right foot. So your next exhale, release slowly and gently. You're coming to that outside part of your foot, of your right foot, and you're slowly bringing your left leg on top of your right. Finding your comfortable challenge here today, whatever that looks like. Take a few breaths here. Really send your attention to your shoulders, how different it feels, the grounded shoulder versus the flying shoulder. Embracing any shaking, anything like that. That's your nervous system reworking. Really getting deep into that muscular tension, those muscular fibers. On your next exhale, we're going to slowly and gently bring that flying arm down to the ground. And we're coming up to a plank position here. And let's rock back and forth a few times. Staying on our toes or on your knees. You can also do that today. Just really listening to those sensations of your body. Noticing the differences between your right and your left of your wrists, your elbows, shoulders. On your next exhale, you'll release your knees to the ground if they're not already there. Your heart space comes to the ground. Your hands are right beside. Again, you can have your chin out in front of you, or you can have one cheek on the ground. Notice if this is different now from when we did this earlier. If you can feel more of a release anywhere. If you're able to access more of that power from the earth coming up to you. If you're on your cheek, go ahead and reverse to the other cheek. Taking this opportunity to notice any tension anywhere. Just sending your consciousness there in order to release it. In your mind's eye, imagine rocking slightly backwards and sending your arms out in front of you to find either child's pose or to do that pose with your hips up in the air. And on your next exhale, go ahead and move your body there. And then releasing deeply and easily to give a little traction to the shoulders. Nice, gentle pull. From here, we're going to be lifting back up again. We're coming up onto our forearms. Forearms are on the ground. We'll be tiptoeing up towards our arms. We're just going to be putting a lot of our weight through those forearms and our shoulders. So to prepare for this, we can bring our elbows a little bit closer, feet planted on the ground, hips up to the air. Weight is going through our forearms and our fingers, really grasping into the ground with our fingers to spread out that weight. And tiptoe forward to wherever your comfortable challenge is today. Bringing up energy from the earth to support you physically. Hopefully finding a little bit of shaking in your muscular system. Breathing deeply into this challenge here, trying to keep that smile. Keeping your shoulder blades firmly on your torso. Your neck is long and relaxed. Good. One more breath. You can do it. And on your exhale, release your knees to the ground and come back. Your heels touching your bottom, arms out in front of you, and breathe deeply. Relax. Relax those muscles. You did it. Now your hips come to the air. You're on your hands and your feet. Give yourself a little movement here. We rock from side to side. And we'll go front to back. Just kind of listen to your body right here. It's a little bit of free form movement. Really noticing those shoulders, how they're feeling now versus when we started. What you feel like you have available to you in them today. Here you can lift your right leg, right or left actually. Either one. I'll be doing my left so I can come towards you. Come in underneath you. We're rotating forward and we're coming to the ground. Legs out long in front of you. Moment here to kind of get upright again. Back in this orientation to gravity. Arms come straight up to the sky. You're feeling as if your hip bones are being pulled down to the ground and a string is pulling your crown up to the ceiling. Really getting this elongation of your entire spine. On your next inhale, bring your knees up to your chest. We're going to roll backwards like a ball. We're just going to basically fall backwards. You start with your abdomen and just kind of release your hips backwards, back to the ground. Take a breath. Your legs come out long. And you're going to be lifting up your shoulders up to the sky. Your upper torso gets lifted up. You're using your forearms and your arms to push your head back to a comfortable position. You want no pressure going through your neck. If you can get to the crown of your head, that's ideal. The back of your head is just fine too. Making sure you're protecting that neck the whole time. No tension, no pinching or biting there. All of your weight is going through your arms. Feeling this opening energy, feeling as if you have this vortex of energy spiraling up to the sky from your heart and from your throat. And on your next inhale, go ahead and release. Very good. I'm going to take a few breaths here, just laying on the ground, really just to get a sense of what you're feeling in your body. Start at the bottom of your feet. See if you can notice every square inch. Come up through your knees, your hips, fingertips, elbows, shoulders, your belly button, your chest, neck, head. Taking 3 more deep breaths here. And we'll be coming back to sitting. So fully expanding those lungs, breathing in. One more breath here. Feeling the sensations that your movements created. Exhale. Now we'll be coming up. You can roll over to the side or however you would like to get up today. All right. From here, we'll be doing a little bit of shoulder somatic muscular tension release. So to kind of assess how this works, we're going to start by checking how it goes. So send your palms together behind you. Just move your arms backwards and see how far you can get, what it feels like. I'm definitely feeling tension here today. Just got a feeling of what that feels like right now, especially in those shoulders. And then you can release from sitting here. We're going to slowly be moving our right shoulder up towards our ear, and then our right ear kind of comes down towards it. And then we'll be slowly releasing. So we're kind of mimicking a stretch here. You know, you're kind of going stretch, and then you slowly release. That's what we're aiming for in this exercise. So our right arm slowly, just imagine you're stretching it, coming up here, where you kind of reach this this heightened contraction state. So it's definitely contracted, but it's not painful. And then we're releasing for 7 counts. So 7, 6. Bring your head to center as you do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now just completely release all of the muscles. Don't be holding on to any tension. Feel as if it's completely melting out of your fingertips. And then we'll do this again. So again, slowly bring your shoulder and your ear together. No pain, but definitely contracted, and then release back to neutral for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Completely releasing all tension. And one more time, again, slowly up. Our right ear comes to our right shoulder, and we'll release 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and complete release. Good. Now we'll be doing the same thing on the other side. So your left shoulder comes up to your left ear. Slowly, and now release 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. Completely release any tension you have. Slowly again, raise that left shoulder up to the left ear. And then release 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Complete release of the muscles. And once more, slowly bring that left shoulder and your left ear down to each other. And release 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. From here, we're going to bring our palms right in front of our, as far out as we can get them. Sometimes people call this prayer pose, Anjali Mudra, it's called. And we're going to kind of press our palms into each other and maintain that pressure just gently pressing together as we're moving our arms in towards our chest to neutral. And we'll be releasing the muscles there. So we'll start with our hands out in front of us, our palms gently but firmly pressing to each other. We'll go slowly. Release. This time we're releasing for 10. So we're going a little bit slower. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And completely release. So release your hands. Imagine all the muscles completely releasing any tension. Feel it melting all the way down your elbows, out through your fingers. And then we'll meet our palms to each other. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release completely. Any tension just melts away. And last one, palms gently but firmly together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, complete release. Good. So let's bring our hands behind our back again. Just notice if there's any difference in how high you can get your arms up and how much tension you might be feeling. I'm definitely feeling like I can get a little bit higher and it's not as tight. But notice what you're feeling for you today. And release. Excellent. So that really gets right to that subconscious default patterning that our brain automatically goes to for signaling of the muscles. And over time, as we keep working with that, that can release any of these built up default pathways that are not really serving healthy posture. All right, so let's run through our lymphatics one more time. Again, we're at the end of our session. We're just going to make sure all the log jams are cleared out as much as we can. We're taking this time to really just go deep into our bodies, enjoy this time we've set aside for ourselves. Just really get this really just decadent feeling of luxury, giving our body exactly what it needs. We'll head over to right underneath that humerus head. And to the other side. Taking some deep breaths here, really using this time to ease our minds, ease our energy. Moving to the middle of our sternum, right between the ribs. Then moving slightly towards our the bottom of our armpits on our chest, kind of midway through at the level of your armpits. Notice if they feel any different from earlier today. We'll do a quick rundown through our axillary spots right in front of our shoulder and on both sides. Now we'll take two of our fingers or your thumbs, whichever is most comfortable, and those bony protuberances right at the base of your skull. You're going to just rub deeply into those spots. Not too deeply. This is not a lymphatic point. This is an energy balancing point. So you don't need to go crazy here. Just go as hard as it feels comfortable. You're really balancing your energy. In different energy traditions, I find it interesting. This is kind of the entry point of spirit or cosmic energy, kind of this life force energy. And many traditions say it's balancing that energy. It's the point that we have this divine communion. Just breathing deeply into using this spot to help calm everything down. Excellent. So we can join each other on the ground. We'll take just a minute or two of our final meditation. We started a little late, so I don't want to keep you guys too long, but you've worked too hard to not get a little rest here. You can have your full Shavasana with your pool noodle underneath your hips to give it a slight backwards tilt. Today, I'm going to have my feet out to the side and my knees in. Can also be on your stomach, really any position that's very comfortable for you, and you can let all of your muscles go. You can take some few deep breaths here. And imagine in your mind's eye seeing a vortex of energy starting to swirl from the area of your chest and your throat, swirling clockwise out into the abyss, reaching out, bringing you closer to divinity. Connecting you with the knowledge of what you need for your life. Imagine if you see this energy as has a color or a shape. Now imagine that energy stays there and we have the same vortex pattern coming out from behind your upper back down into the ground. This counterclockwise vortex from the base of your neck, your upper back, coming deep into the ground, deep into the love of this earth that was created to support us and nurture us, tapping into that energy. These vortices are pulling this energy into us, connecting us more with divinity and with ourselves. And bring your sensation to your shoulders, leaving your vortices there, just spinning slowly. And feel your shoulders, how they're feeling today or feeling right now. They work so hard for you and have done so much for you in this last hour. And then you're going to bring your attention behind your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and start to come back to here and now. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and slowly bring ourselves up to sitting. And if you'd like, we can join each other in our namaste. Namaste means the divine light inside of me recognizes and honors the divine light inside of you. Thank you for coming to yoga today. Namaste.